What's up? Unrested back here with another JFAQ. We're going to delve into something a little bit serious on this one. I'm going to talk about a subject that I find the most disturbing in Japan. And it's something that's pretty unique to Japan. It even has its own word here, and that is Karoshi. So what exactly does that mean? Karoshi, I guess literally translated, means death from overwork. And it means the person has pretty much worked so hard and been pushed so hard by their employer that they in turn have stopped living due to a combination of too many hours, work stress, being deprived of the needed downtime to let their mind and their body recover, and pretty much not allowed to live a healthy, normal life due to the amount of overwork they're having. And it's something that is not new to Japan. The first case of Karoshi was first reported in 1969 with the death of a 29-year-old male. No signs of previous illness, perfectly healthy, went to his health check every year as is required by most Japanese companies. And he was working for one of the most well-established newspaper companies in all of Japan, dropped dead at 29 from a stroke suddenly after being overworked. It was not until later, in the later 1980s, during the bubble economy, which some of you may have researched if you've done a little bit of research about Japan, several high-ranking business executives who were still in their prime years, we're talking the same age, around 29, 28, 27, died without any previous illness again. They died from things from irregular heartbeats that suddenly occurred, strokes, heart attacks, and these are guys who, were healthy, fit, living a normal life, not abusing anything, and suddenly died. And the media started to pick up on this, and they started to notice it was a new phenomenon, and this eventually became Karoshi. It wasn't finally recognized until 1987. So first started happening in 1969, not finally recognized by the Japanese Health Administration until 1987. And still, after 40 years of this affliction, little to nothing has been done about it. Some companies say they're enforcing policies that make people go home early. The government says they're trying to enforce this on companies as well. But just recently we had another person die at Toyota for working over 120 hours. And so, is it effective? It's not looking like it is. Something we need to address, and that's what this JFAQ is about.
Karoshi, when translated, literally means death from overwork. Personally, I feel people need a better life-work balance. The constant stress of work is leaving people not only physically ill, but mentally ill as well. I believe I need to work to live, not live to work. However, I must admit I'm in the minority, and most of the workers in Japan's corporate culture will disagree with me. I've read in the newspaper that some people are adopting a more flexible work routine, but I don't believe there will be a major change in Japan anytime soon. The government has stepped in to protect workers, but I believe our society will continue to experience cases of Karoshi in the future.
As of right now, dozens of large corporations have implemented no overtime days, supposedly, and this requires employees to leave the office promptly at 5:30 p.m. But few workers actually do this. For the most part, most stay in the office and just have the lights off, or simply take their work home and do what's called furoshiki, or cloaked overtime. So, as you can see, the problem is not being solved. began this, I just want to talk about my own personal opinion and push all research and facts aside. There's many things I love about Japan. It's a great country. It's way ahead of its time as far as technology, second largest economy in the world. It's a great country, very peaceful, low crime rate. Comparably to any other country, it is the safest in the world. Now, the problem is with the big names that you know from Japan. Toyota, I'm talking about Mitsubishi, Suzuki, all those big names that you know. Yamaha. What's happened over the years is profit has become far outbalanced compared to humanity, as in the humanity of the workers for these companies. Prices in Japan have skyrocketed. After the bubble era, things became enormously expensive, and the cost of living has become enormously expensive. And instead of balancing things out with higher pay, they just overwork people harder. They also hold their jobs over their heads now. There's no longer the loyalty granting you a lifetime position. Now it's who can work the hardest to survive. What this is doing in turn is working people to death, literally to death.